I want to take a look at, uh, well, let me back up here. I was watching Color Computer Talk. I think it was Game On, and someone had done a Defender port. And so I got to thinking, can we do this in BASIC? So today I'm going to start a short series of how this might be accomplished, if at all. So I don't have a lot of time, but I'm going to make a quick part one. And so what I'm going to have to do is set up, we're going to go into P mode 4, which is high resolution, and I'm not very familiar with it. So I don't know if I have to use screen 0 or screen 1 to get what I need here. Excuse me, but I'm going to soon find out. So I get nothing here. Alright, let's list this. Okay, something's not right. I think I have the screen set as a text screen. So it shouldn't it be screen 1, 0? I think that's what it was. Okay, so I don't know if this is a black background. This might be the wrong color set here. Let's try screen 1, 1. That's the only other option that I know of. There we go. Now we have that black background that we need, okay, for Defender, because it's on a planet, and you're like hovering above the planet, and there's space out here. So, the first thing I think I want to do is we want to create a mountain here. Maybe we'll start here. We'll have a line going. We'll have a mountain here, and we'll have another mountain. Then we'll just have a line. This is going to be just a basic representation of a side scroller. And this is just the start of it. This is not going to be a full game here right now. I've never even tried this. I'm just doing this here. We need a star field, but I'm not going to bother with that right now. I can do that later. I'm really in a hurry, so as I said, I'm not familiar with the lineage here. I don't know how it goes from left to right and up and down, so I'm going to try a test here. I'm going to draw a line, and I'm going to do what low res mode is 254 by 190, and I'm going to piece set a border, and we'll see where that lands us. And it looks exactly the same, except for one little smidge, one little sliver on each side. So I don't see any difference there. It might be 256 by 192, and that looks like that's what it is. So it's a grid of approximately the same size, but the pixels are a lot smaller. So what I'm going to do now that I know that is I'm just going to start drawing our landscape. And so I'm going to draw a line I'm going to work backwards here from 256 maybe 170, and I don't need a y variable, but I'm gonna need an x variable eventually, so I'll put that in there. And as this gets more complicated, I might need a y, but I don't need one right now. So we'll go to maybe from 256 to 246, 170, and we have to always piece set a line, otherwise it won't be a line. So we have part of the land here, and what I want to do is raise a peak like that, and maybe a smaller peak, and then just have the rest of the land there. So for that, let me label this now. I don't want to get careless. I'm going to put peak 1, and we're going to go line from where we ended, 246 plus, I got to have that X in there, 172. Now to draw a diagonal, I don't know, it has to be we want a 45-degree angle basically, or at least close to it. It doesn't have to be perfect. So we're going to go from there over to maybe, let's see if 200 does it or not. Okay, so we're taking a straight line and we're moving it over, but we also need to go up. So maybe 100. Piece set that and see what it looks like. So that's not bad. And then we want to go from there down. Let's list this. I need to edit line 3 because I forgot the second X. And right now X has no value, so it doesn't matter. But it's going to be used for animation purposes. So 6, we're going to have our peak going the other way. And to keep this mathematically correct, I have to use a calculator. So we know we took 46 from 200, but from 246, we took 46 from 246 and got 200. So we want to take 46 back from 200 and get 154. And we're going to use our 100. Whoa, wait a minute. I forgot I have to go from here. I have to go from 200 plus X 100 to, the number was 154 plus X. Wait. Why is this happening here? I went backward, right? And then I went from there up. So I started there, right? So that's right. And I'm going back down. Now remember, when you're playing with Y, the smaller the number, the higher up you're going to be. So that's where I got confused. I go back down to 170, and it's as simple as that. So now I have a landmass here, or the ground, and I have this, I guess it's a mountain range, and I don't want to get too complicated here. So I'm just going to go out a little more. I'm going to make a smaller range. I mean, you could scale this up, but I don't want to do that right now. I haven't played Defender in probably 8 years. I don't know, a long time. I haven't played Defender in a while. But I had gotten the MAME version, which is the original arcade version, and it's really good. And so is the Atari 2600 version. But you have to play Defender 2. Defender 1 is not good at all. So I've played that more recently, the Atari version, maybe last year. But anyways, so I'm going to go maybe 10 here, have a smaller peak, and just bring it out to here. So 7 doesn't really matter here. I'm just going to put line where I left off. There's not enough time in the day. Have you ever heard that saying? Well, it's true, because when you're trying to get these programs out to the internet, you never seem to have enough time. And I just can't fit it in, and I need more time, and I don't have it. So we're going to go make a little range here, and then we're going to go all the way to 0. And so 8 is going to be peak 2. And we're just going to follow, the, I don't know, we're going to follow the dimensions of the first peak, but it's just going to be scaled down. So we want line, we're starting from where we ended, and I'm going to move it over 46, I guess. So 144 minus 46 is 98 plus x, but I'm not going to move it up as much, so it'll appear smaller. And let's see what we have, and that is not right. So I moved it over. Let's list this. That doesn't make much sense, but the numbers don't lie here. So let's see what happens if I moved it up 100. It should match the other one. So the problem is we need to cut it off here. So instead of moving it up over 46, I want to keep this at 150. So we'll try 144 minus 16. That looks better. Then we'll just bring this down and shoot it across, and then we're going to plug our variables in, and we should get motion. And let's see if how this is going to work here. So 10 line 128 plus x comma 150 starting from the top, and we only moved it 16, so 16 from 128 is 112 plus x comma 170, and that's gonna do it. And if anybody's wondering how I make my videos, I'm just using a Xroar emulator on Windows 10. And what I do is I open up the emulator window and I get it running first. And then what I do is I hold down the Windows key. You can find it in the lower left-hand corner of your keyboard. It's 3 keys over. It's on the bottom. And what you do is you hold down that Windows key with one finger, and then you hold down the G, the letter G, and you hold it down for maybe 2 seconds, and then you let it go, and it will bring up a screen capture, and you'll have to need the, it's easy to learn how to use, and that's all I use. It's not the greatest. It doesn't work for every emulator, but it works for the Color Computer emulator. So if you don't have a way to capture, this is one way that you could use. Alright, so I just wanted to give you that background in case you want to make your own videos. You don't need a camera, and it's better than taking a picture of a TV screen. Alright, but anyway, so I just need to do the last part to this. For each peak, I have a peak, and then I have a landmass, then I have a peak. Now I need another landmass. So I'm going to go from here all the way over to 0. And that should complete our picture. And that's it. So Let's see how many lines we have so far. We have 12 lines, and I want to check these lines to make sure, and of course they don't all fit on the screen. So I want to make sure I have an X variable where it's needed, and I do. Without that, I couldn't animate this picture. And so with 12 lines of BASIC, you have the, a generic version of the Defender landmass here. And like I said, stars are easy to put in. You just generate a random number of stars in a random number of places, and I'll do that later in another video. That's very easy to do. But now I'm not going to put our spray in, which will be the ship, yet. And so I just want to see how this is going to work. And to give you a little bit more background about myself, I took a public speaking class recently, and it improved my communication a lot. And I just happened to be taking that class, and it coincided with what I do on YouTube. It didn't. I didn't take it because I'm making videos, but I just wanted to let you know that I did take a public speaking class. Not everybody can just start talking, um, in videos on the internet. It can be nerve-wracking. So if you're doing this and you're having trouble, maybe take a public speaking class at your local community college. It would help. If you're doing this for money, I would highly recommend it. I'm not getting paid for any of this. This channel is completely of my own free will, and I'm just doing it to enrich the color computer community. And there's not that many of us out there anymore, so it's pretty important to archive this stuff in a way that's productive. But anyways, without any more talk here, I have to figure out some way to animate this. So animation. Okay, now I could do these, excuse me, I could do these programs on my own and not share them with anyone, and I would get them done a lot faster if I didn't have to talk through the whole thing. But I enjoy this, and you have to give back a little bit. I appreciate my audience, and without an audience, as I've said in the past, it wouldn't be the same. So, anyways, so I have to figure out a way to get this to move, and this is going to be a tough one. So it's just going to be, and I can't think as well either if I'm talking and making these videos, and I've never done this before, but like I said, I like to. So for X, we're just going to try for X equals negative 100 to 0, step 1, and that's it. So we're going to have to place this. Well, let's just do this. Since I'm getting more experienced at this, I can probably get away with go subbing to the start of the program. Let's list what we have here. And we don't want to go sub to our screen setup. we want to go sub to line 3. So I'm going to renumber this like I usually do when this happens, and I need more room. List 1 to 8. 1 to 8. Oh yeah. List. Okay. 1 to 8. And 3 is going to be, I don't know what to call it. We'll just put our graphic, right? Because that's what it is. So we want to go sub to a definite line. And we want to have it labeled. So we're going to go sub to 3. Even though it starts at 4, you want to be consistent. And then what happens after that is it's going to change the values. Okay, and it's going to return. First, we need to get rid of this goto statement. So it's going to go through the program. It's going to print up our graphic. It's going to drop out. It's going to change X to negative 100. Now, is that going to hurt the program, or is that going to help the program? Yeah, this isn't right here. Yeah, this isn't right. Oh, this is going to be a tough one. I just want to take one off of each of my lines. So we'll say for x equals negative 100 to 0 step. We don't want it to start at negative 100. That's too big. X equals. How do I do this? If I can't figure this out, then I might have to do it a different way. If I make this step plus 1, then x would equal 99 on the first attempt. We don't want that. So we want x to start at 0, 2, maybe if we change this negative, what if we do it that way? 0 to negative 100. Because if you think of a number line, you have 0 in the middle, and it would go down, all the way down to negative 100, but we need to start somewhere. Step. And I'm not that familiar with color basic mathematics to say definitively. Step. Negative 1. That might go down. Let's see, we're going to have to run a test. We're going to print x, and we're going to call our next x. We're going to run 14, and is this what I want? I need a pause in there. How do you put a pause in there? So I know that DOS has a /p command, but I don't know if Color Basic has something like that. So when it gets to the bottom, you press space. I'll just have to do it manually, and I'm not fast enough. The computer is way too fast. So this is what I want. I want x to start at 0, and then I want it to, by ones, get a little smaller. So that's, if you don't know, do a test. But we're going to have to delete 15 to 16, list this over again. Go sub, I think it was line 3. Let's check, list line 3 is our graphic. So it'll plow through this. It'll get back down here and redefine X. I'm really interested to see what we're going to get here. Now all we need is we need a return statement. Let's not forget that. So we're going to renum. We're going to make some space in there. List it. 13 is going to be our return statement. RETURN. But now the problem is we're going to get a RG error when we try to load this. So I'm going to have to run 14 to bypass that error. Now there's an FC error in 12. Go sub, what the heck? Oh my god. Yeah, this is like scrambled. And who knows why I'm getting a FC error in 12, not the other lines. RG error and run 14. Yeah, I'm getting a problem here. So alright, we'll do this. If z equals 0, then 14. Else z equals 1, return. Let's see if that fixes it. What the heck? Oh, this is just getting worse. Worse and worse here. You know what? The heck with this. We don't need a go sub. What we really need on 16 is a go to. We're going to renumber this by ones. See how many lines we have? 16, not too bad. Let's run this. Still doesn't work. I hate when this happens. Why the hell isn't this working? Go to 3. It's not getting to the next X. Oh, what is going on here? Let's try changing these lines around. No, that's not going to help either. I don't have this set up right, guys. I'm just going way too fast for this level of technicality here. We need this line up on top. It's not in the right place. It's just not going to work like this. I don't want to make this too complicated here. So we need it up here. Renumber. It's just getting too in the weeds. I mean, I'm sure there's a way to make it work because I've done it before. But I do things and I don't remember how they work sometimes. So list 1 to 7, 3 is going to be alright, we're going to copy what we have on 15 up to 3. We're going to get rid of 15. renumber by ones. Oh, I don't know what that just did. I hope I didn't just kill my program. This computer, oh my god. Renumber 111 list. List 1 to 10, if it even fits. 1, 2, 3. Alright. If I have a program left after this, next, X. Are you kidding me right now? Why is there an FC error? Oh. Let me edit 13. Scrap that line right there. And now we're getting motion. Alright guys. So what we need to do now is put a PCLS in there, and 16 will be our next X. There's a lot of things I don't know about this graphics mode. But now we have the mountains moving. But there's all sorts of problems. So I'm going to stop it in a minute and make a follow-up to this, because right now, as I said, I have other things to do. But I will be back to this tomorrow. And it's a work in progress, but that goes too slow. So let's try step -2. And we're going a little faster there, but it's still too slow. So by changing the step, we want something that's divisible by 100. We don't want some odd there. That's better. And as soon as it gets to there, it should stop. So we have mountains, and we have part of the land. What we don't have is a continuation of the ground. And that's why I had to get rid of line 13, because 0, you can't go, right here is technically 0. So offhand, I don't know a remedy to that. I'm gonna have to work on that off screen maybe, or next time. And because it can't go into that area, but it should shorten it somehow. Let's try something here. I'm starting in the middle and I'm going to the left. If I change this sign here to a negative sign, and I have a negative plus a negative should be a positive, and now I have no ground at all. So that didn't work. 0 minus -1. Oh Lord. Let's try something here. I don't want to bore you, but this is how computer programs are written. They take time. I think I need to get rid of that X variable. and now I have no line. I don't know why. Oh, it's still, it's, you know why? It's still blocked. No wonder. And look at, like magic, I now have a line there. So this is why, always have patience. Okay guys, isn't that great? Now I have to scan the other way. Now, how did I just do this? Well, I simply got rid of, you know, sometimes the answers to these problems are the simplest ones. So it can redefine from 112 down to 0, but it can't redefine 0 into the negative zone because the color computer graph is all only in the positive. As I've said way back, this is not your true XY grid where you can go into negative zones. This is only quadrant 1. If you remember from when you graphed algebra functions, if you ever did that, this is zone 1 only. So we can't do that. So what I did is I just left it at 0 and it closes in on itself. So what I need to do is the same thing for this one here, which is our start ground area before we get to the peak. Remember, I drew a ground area, then a peak, then a ground area that doesn't change, which is right here. Then this ground area here needs to become longer. So how do we do that? I don't know. I'm brand new to this. I'm just doing this off the cuff. But I think we just do the opposite. So we're going to flip-flop this the other way, if that makes any sense. And how do I do that? Well, here we want to get rid of the x variable at the beginning instead. And look at this. Look at that. Isn't that wonderful? So we can create Defender in BASIC. And it's this easy, guys. I mean, you have to be a little bit of a seasoned programmer to accomplish this. But with me walking you through it, or as you can see, it's not really that difficult. Now, next time when I come back, all we have to do is put a joystick controlled sprite in here and with some stars, and we're basically done. And we can move the sprite around, and we're going to have to figure out, you know what, instead of constantly running this over and over, what I'm going to do here is, what am I going to do here? What am I going to do? 1 to 8. Once it does that, we want to go the other way, right? So we're going to have to start adding to go back the other way. But right now, so let's list this real quick. Once it gets through next x, what do? We have to go back to the beginning of the program. And I don't remember what line that was. On line 3. 17, go to 3. So I can talk while this thing does its thing. I don't even remember what I was saying here. So if we're going to the right, just picture a ship here going to the right, and I'll have to figure out how to work it in so that as I'm going to the right, the ground moves. But I want to be able to go the other way. and the ground will come back the other way and have some stars in there. So I think I was saying uh, next time I'll have to put a sprite in here, a ship, joystick controlled, and some stars, and that's really it. And this is just a generalized. This is just going to be a generalization of that game. It's not going to be a full game. I mean, that would just. I don't know. I don't have. I mean, I don't. Like I said, I'm a seasoned programmer, but I'm no expert, and I'm the only one working on this. With so I don't know what I can accomplish here, but we'll see. And this video really went way too long, so I was only planning on maybe 15 minutes or half an hour at most. So I gotta get out of here. I'm gonna post this and I'll come back to it tomorrow. This is only a day's work here, so it takes more than a day. And this is in high res, and I could make it go back the other way. But the problem is, I need something in here, and for x equals 0, I would have to go, I don't know, guys. I would have to go back to the Go sub thing. So I would have to put all the information down here. We'll do that next time. I don't have time for it. I really wish I had time, but I'm going on 45 minutes here. So I wanted to see if it was possible in BASIC to recreate Defender, and I think this is a good start, you guys. You don't want to you don't want to be too headstrong. So I'm gonna cut it off here, and so I'll see you guys next time. All right, take care.